When I transferred to postpartum, it was 2020, and the mothers and the babies were basically healthy. And I was so happy to be there because I had previously worked on the cardiac unit. So I took care of a lot of elderly patients with heart conditions. And when I got transferred to postpartum, I was so happy because I was like, finally, I can take care of newborns, bring these healthy little lives into the world and be a part of that miracle happening. And then in 2021, the madness happened where all of a sudden they weren't healthy anymore. They were coming in, the mothers were coming in labor, and then they were delivering dead babies. And it had turned out that like a week before that, they had received the COVID vaccine, because when the COVID vaccine started rolling out and these mothers were going to their OB doctor, they were pushing the COVID vaccine on them. So the area that I live in is highly vaxxed for COVID vaccine.
Fresno City.
Yes. And so the mothers go in and the doctors push the vaccine. And the farther they are along in their pregnancy, the more often they see the doctor. So every time they go in, the doctor's like, hey, do you want to get the COVID vaccine? And even some of the moms, they were like, we want to wait because it's new. And they'd say things like, oh, well, if you get COVID, your baby could die. So you need to get this vaccine, and scared them. And so a lot of them got the vaccine.
Protocol is what, one shot for a pregnant woman or multiple shots?
Two
shots.
Two, yeah. So 2 weeks apart, pretty much. But they only needed one shot for them to deliver a dead baby, because it was March and April of 2021 that all of a sudden we started having mothers come in, and no matter what gestation they were in, they were delivering dead babies. And prior to that event, we would have 4 babies born dead per year. And even though I had only worked there in 2020, the nurses that have worked there for many years, 15, 30 years, they'd say the same thing. They'd say that there are an average of 4 dead babies per year in that hospital. So,
and how many babies are being delivered yearly in that hospital?
10,000.
10,000. So
yes.
4 in 10,000.
Yes.
Okay.
And so after the COVID shot started being placed on these pregnant women, we started having 4 per week at a minimum.
So
and
50x more.
Yes. So, and now you have over 200 babies being born dead per year. And that's like under exaggerated. This is pretty much based on my observation and the email that we'll talk about in a little bit. So the number went from 4 to more than 200
a year
per year that are being born dead. And it's madness. And in the ones that are making it to birth, the babies, I've seen babies born without limbs, missing fingers and toes. There's babies that are born with respiratory issues, cardiac issues. We've done more fetal echocardiograms more than ever before. And then the mothers, they used to be healthy in 2021. And now prior to 2021, we would have like 1 mother on magnesium, a critical medication for their heart, like 1 per month. Prior to 2021. Now, every single day, there's a mother on magnesium. And the magnesium is to help lower their blood pressure so that they don't have a seizure. And it's not right that we have at least 1 every single day. So we have mothers that are having crazy health problems. I feel like I'm back on the cardiac unit with the elderly patients that have chronic health conditions. But it should not be that way. It should have never happened this way. Mothers are supposed to be healthy. And I mean, if you're even able to carry a healthy baby through your pregnancy and deliver a healthy baby, like that's the greatest blessing ever. And to have all of that process destroyed by a COVID vaccine, that should have never happened. It's a total attack on God, in my opinion.
So babies are being delivered stillbirths?
Yes.
So they're dead. Were they dead in the womb?
Yes.
Or they died during the delivery?
They die inside the womb, and then the mother comes to the hospital and has monitors placed on her and finds out the baby had already passed away. And
a mother feels there's something wrong with her baby. That's why she goes to the hospital.
Yes, that, or they go to the OB doctor for their prenatal checkup, and then they find that something's wrong, so they send them to the hospital.
To do what? To do a delivery?
Yes. Well, because if they go
C-section?
Yes. A lot of times, yes. C-section is a very Also, another unnatural thing to do that should be more rare, but they do, many of their deliveries are by C-section. But then sometimes they do deliver vaginally too. If they give them a medication to put them in labor, they're able to deliver the baby that way too.
And they give birth to a dead baby.
A dead baby. Yes.
How and when did you see the correlation between the shots and the dead babies being delivered?
Almost immediately, because I worked all of 2020 and we had normal, healthy deliveries. And then I heard that the COVID vaccine was going to start rolling out on pregnant women. And it was like right around March and April of 2021. All of a sudden, we started having all these stillborns. And it would appear that on their charts, the mothers had just received the COVID vaccine like a week before their baby had been delivered. And I call them stillborns, and I call them babies being born dead for a reason, because they are babies and very much alive inside as they are on the outside. And the email that I'll read in a little bit, she calls them fetal demises. And I don't really like that term. I want it to be clear to people that these are stillborns. They're babies being born dead. So I think when we call them a fetal demise, it removes a little bit of that humanity from the word. So when they talk about it at the hospital, they call them fetal demises.
Or they call them a clump of cells. A few things before we start. First of all, I believe YouTube is going to either demonetize this video or to even erase it from its platform. But if you're still seeing this, it means it's still on YouTube. So please like this video right now, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already, and please share this episode with all your friends, peers, and loved ones. It's crucial to spread the word. It's to spread the truth. Number two, guys, I don't have any sponsors. So if you want to support my work, please become a member of our community. There is going to be a link down below. Click the link and become a member of our community. And this is the best way how you can support my channel and my work. The whole point of my podcast is to listen to other opinions and to tell the truth. And you can be part of it. And now, let's get back to the podcast with the one and only Michelle.
Right.
When they abort them.
Right.
Women healthcare.
Right. Which I don't agree with any of that.
Tell me at least one or two stories when you were present when the baby was born, stillborn. How did my mother react? What did the doctors say? How did they manage to calm the mom down and not to file a lawsuit or something?
Well, the mothers are devastated. Their babies are blue. But the doctors tell them that something went wrong with the pregnancy.
During the pregnancy, but not during the delivery?
I would believe so. They make the mother feel like it's her body failed her.
Okay.
They are in total denial that it's the COVID vaccine. And so I know based on observation that it's clearly the COVID vaccine. Plus, I've met many victims who have been injured by the COVID vaccine. And so I have no doubt in my mind there's like an obvious correlation. But there's still people who believe that the COVID vaccine is still good. And so a lot of the mothers, when they deliver the babies, they go to antepartum because I work on postpartum. So they try to not bring them necessarily to postpartum because the other babies there are crying and they don't want to have them be on the same floor where they have to hear these crying babies because it's even more devastating. So a lot of them go to antepartum, but a lot of them don't believe that. A lot of them think this is an isolated event. And so they think that they're the only one that this is happening to and that it's rare. Mm-hmm. They don't realize that when it happens to them, there's 4 other moms that week that also lost a baby. And I feel like that's a really important thing people need to understand. The babies are still dying. It's 2025, and they're still being born dead at a rate of 4 per week in this hospital. And it's happening in all of the states especially where they're highly vaxxed states. These are happening. And I know that because my friend, Dr. Thorpe from Florida, he's an OBGYN. He does remote work where he reads ultrasounds. And so he knows from ultrasound techs all over the United States that this is happening. The babies are being born dead still at an increased rate.
Okay, so you still work at that hospital, right?
Yes.
So the first dead babies started being delivered since 2021. Have you ever had like a mother who delivered a dead baby in 2021 and another baby, let's say in 2023, 2024, 2025?
I've seen that, not like personally like had the same patient, but we can see how many patients, how many babies they have had and how many babies they have miscarried. And when you see the miscarriage rate, a lot of them miscarry in 2021 and on. So like if they have a baby recently, they might have a baby that they miscarried last year. We could see that on their chart. And that's also very increased. Yes, there's been some that have had like 3 or 4 miscarriages.
3 or 4?
Yes.
Since 2021?
Yes.
And they don't align one with another, shot with these miscarriages. They don't think that there's a correlation.
I don't think so.
What do dads do, fathers? Because mom is in labor. She's in pain. She's devastated. The hormones and etc. But dad is being present during the labor, and he sees that the baby is being born dead. How do they react?
The same. They're equally devastated. I do remember one where the dad was at the bedside and they were both crying over the baby, and they just seem like they don't know what happened.
And they don't ask questions?
No, not really. Not enough.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so in 2021, what did you do exactly? So there's an email.
Yes.
So where do we start? First, we'll read the letter or your actions prior to that email?
I can talk a little bit about it, and then I can read it. So every time I go to work, there's a dead baby. They only needed 1 shot for them to deliver a dead baby, because it was March and April of 2021 that all of a sudden we started having mothers come in, and no matter what gestation they were in, they were delivering dead babies. In the ones that are making it to birth, the babies, I've seen babies born without limbs, missing fingers and toes. There's babies that are born with respiratory issues, cardiac issues. There's been some that have had like 3 or 4 miscarriages.
3 or 4?
Yes.
Since 2021?
Yes. I've asked other nurses, hey, will you speak out with me? You see these babies are being born dead. You know it's the COVID vaccine. Can you guess what they all tell me? I'm sorry, but I can't lose this job. So what they're saying is, I will sacrifice babies knowingly for money. One of my nurse friends said they went back and they checked because of my investigation. All of the fetal demise, the babies, she checked, and it was like 90% of the dead babies had mothers that had received the COVID vaccine. I finally got in there to take her off life support. She was tied up in restraints and she had her teeth knocked out.
What?
Yeah. When they killed my mom, I told my brother, I said, they messed with the wrong nurse. They shouldn't have killed our mother, and they will pay for this. So that is something I will never forget.
This is the list of all the meds she was on.
Yeah.
On each and every
That's
position.
enough to kill an entire army.
So this woman, 42, was on these drugs.
Yes.
On all of them.
Yes.
And she said, I'm hungry, can you
Yes.
feed me? They denied.
Yes. She had been denied water for 7 days. Because
But what kind of animals
I know.
work there?
I know.
Big Pharma?
Yeah.